If you advertise on Facebook long enough, it is inevitable that your ad account will be disabled. And that's if you've done nothing wrong and you haven't broken the rules. That statement should not be true, but unfortunately it is. The automatic ad account disabling process that Meta uses is terrible. It's the worst thing about Facebook advertising, but fortunately there are things you can do to get your ad account back when it has been disabled. That's what we'll be covering in this video. Now, I imagine that a lot of people that have found this video have recently had their Facebook ad account disabled. If that's you, my first piece of advice is to not panic.
Oh my God, okay, it's happening. Stay calm.
This happens all the time. It's not a disaster by any means. There are things that can be done. This even happens to us. We're an agency that has 100+ client accounts in our business manager at any one time. And I'd say at least once a month, we will have a client ad account get disabled.
Oh, come on.
We obviously know the rules. We don't break them. They're being disabled incorrectly. So if you've had an ad account disabled, doesn't mean you're anything wrong. And we always get them back. There are things that can be done, and that's what we're going to be focusing on here. It's also important for me to explain that if you have broken Meta's advertiser policies, you've broken the rules, you're not going to get your ad account back. There's sort of no hope really if you've gone completely against what Meta want you to do. What I'm about to explain is more helpful for those people, and this happens all the time, that haven't actually broken the rules but have just had their ad accounts disabled by mistake. As I said, this happens all the time. You can get those back. There is a bit of a gray area where if you've broken the rules a little bit and you sort of go to Meta and say, look, I'm really sorry, it was an accident, I didn't mean to do it, I wasn't aware of that policy, I won't do it again. There's a good chance you'll get it back in those scenarios. But if you sort of try to advertise something that's banned on the platform, or you've used really personalized language, things that Meta really doesn't like, then you're not going to be able to do it. You're going to have to create a new account and start again and not break the rules this time. But for those other people, I imagine most people watching this video that get your ad account disabled when they shouldn't have been, there are solutions that you can use. So if you're in the situation where your ad account has been disabled, you don't think you've done anything wrong, there are 3 actions that I recommend you take. Now, the first one is quick and easy to do. It's a no-brainer, but doesn't really get you that far. I'll quickly explain it. So when you first get that notification to say that your ad account has been disabled, there'll almost certainly be a link included in that notification to request a review. So go ahead and click on that and then provide the information. Meta will ask you for a little bit of information, basically say, I haven't broken the rules. It takes a few seconds, well worth doing. The issue with just relying on that and waiting for that review request to actually be done is that it might take 2 weeks, 3 weeks, sometimes longer for you to even hear anything back from Meta. And if the leads and sales that you generate from your Facebook and Instagram ad campaigns are important to your business, that might be really damaging, really stressful to not be able to generate those lead sales, etc., for an extended period of time.
Things are a little slow here, and there's only so much cold calling you can do in a day.
So take that step, but don't rely on that. The next thing I recommend you do is this. Go to facebook.com/business/help. That'll bring you through to a page that looks like this. This is basically Meta's business help center, and they've got all sorts of FAQs and things like that. But the part that I want you to focus on is to scroll down here and click on this Find Answers or Contact Support section. They've got a Get Started button underneath. And you can see there's personalized help. There's loads of standard questions where you can click on these and find answers and things like that. It's not normally that useful, particularly if you haven't actually broken the rules, because the only way you're going to get your ad account back is if a person actually looks at this, realizes the mistake was made, and undoes the mistake. All these sort of troubleshooting things aren't very helpful. So what I want you to do there is go down to this Need More Help with Advertising and Contact Advertising Support section. I'm just going to walk through the process here. So you can see that they've got most common issues. So Meta is very well aware that there are typical issues that come up all the time, and they're trying to help advertisers deal with them. So the top 3, for example, are I have been blocked from using a feature, disapproved ads, my ad account is disabled. So in this case, we would select my ad account is disabled. Then you need to select your ad account and enter it in here. Assuming you've just got the one, it will probably be automatically filled. We've obviously got lots. I'm just going to go ahead and select this example ad account. Just make sure it's the right one before you go ahead and submit this information. Okay, and then we get to this section. It says, please provide more information to help us investigate. So you can enter in something here like, I haven't broken the rules, please give me my ad account back. You could use a bit more flowery language if you would like. You could tell a little bit of a story about how important it is to your business. I don't think that's a bad idea. I don't think that can hurt in here, but try and make it a little bit applicable to your situation. If something went wrong that you believe may have led to Meta accidentally disabling your ad account, put some more information in here. I think that's a good idea. If there's any screenshots or anything that you can add in, something going wrong, something that popped up that shouldn't have been there, you can show that someone gained access to your ad account when they shouldn't have had it, go ahead and upload the file. Then obviously make sure that your phone number, email address that should be automatically filled in here are correct, because they will likely get in touch. And then the really interesting thing is we're not just submitting this information, which would be the same basically as requesting a review like we did in the last section. Instead, what we're doing is we're clicking on Start Chat. You can see that the average wait time here is just 4 minutes, and within 4 minutes, you will be speaking to a person. Okay, so I'm not actually gonna click on this Start Chat button because then a chat would start and it would be very difficult for me to record a video at the same time, and that ad account hasn't actually been disabled. But I'll just explain some things that you need to be aware of when you go through this process. So firstly, like all support chats, it is hit and miss, and it does depend who you speak to. So if you go through the process, you explain, look, I've had my ad account disabled, I shouldn't have had my ad account disabled, I haven't broken the rules, can you help me get it back? Some people will be a lot more helpful than others. If someone says, no, I can't help you, or I recommend you check out this troubleshooting support document or something, just close down the chat and try again, and you'll get through to someone else. There's obviously tons of people in Meta providing support to be able to get the average wait time down to 4 minutes, and you may get through to someone that is a lot more useful. If they tell you they can't help you, like this is not an avenue where they can get an ad account reviewed, and that's what we're looking for here. We're not looking for the person on the chat to make the decision, we're looking for them to help expedite the review process so that whoever handles reviews can look at it a lot sooner than 3 weeks time, 4 weeks time, which sometimes people wait, which might be terrible for your business. So that's what you're looking for them to do. If they tell you they can't do that, that's not true, they can. Liar! We've dealt with enough reps and we've seen how the process works, and we've had some that have said that and then others that have actually been able to do it. So just keep going until you find someone that will help you. That might mean you need to go through this 4 or 5 rounds. It will be worth it. That's one thing that's really important to know. Don't get disheartened if you try this and you meet a dead end the first time, just go again.
How you doing? We're back and we're ready for it all over again.
When you're going through this chat process, it also helps if you know your stuff. So if you've taken a bit of time to take a look at Facebook's advertiser policies and seen the rules that you think Meta may have thought that you broke, that you didn't actually break, if you can explain that in the chat, I think that's helpful. And also, as I already mentioned, if you tell a bit of a story of how important this is to you, how damaging it will be to your business, lay it on thick. Basically, what you want is the person you're speaking to on the chat to take pity on you and do whatever they can to try and help you and your business and get your ad account back. At the end of the day, you're basically asking a company, please let me give you money. I promise not to break the rules. I haven't broken the rules, you've just made a mistake. So you'd like to think it was a relatively easy pitch. It can be more difficult and frustrating than it should be, but it doesn't mean that you can't get this resolved. We've seen ad accounts that get disabled come back in 2 hours, but often within a 24-hour window. If we have a client ad account get disabled, we can get that back. Now, unfortunately, not everyone will have this live chat option. It does seem to depend where you are located in the world and also how much ad spend you have. Now, I can't give you exact numbers. I don't know them. Maybe they're out there somewhere. It does seem to vary and sometimes not make sense. What I'd recommend is you come through this page, go through the process that I've been through, and you'll see whether or not you have a live chat option. If you don't have a live chat option, you'll probably see a button where you can just send that message that you wanted to send anyway. I would still recommend doing that. I still think that's helpful. It can't hurt. Hopefully you do have the live chat option. I just want to let people know if they go through this and they see that it's not there, unfortunately you're just not going to be able to take advantage of that. Meta very much believes in prioritizing those advertisers that are spending more and based in certain locations, which is unfortunate, but I wanted to let you know. Oh, and by the way, if you would like the results that we got for this client or for this client, you can click on the link in the video description below. There you'll be able to find out more about our done for you Facebook ad services. So the third action that you should take to try and get your ad account back is if you've had a call with a Meta rep recently, contact them. What will usually happen if you have a call with a Meta marketing rep is that you'll then communicate or be given the option to communicate. They will email you afterwards and you can go back and forth via email. It absolutely does not hurt to contact them via email. They'll most likely say that they can't help. Again, it's a similar situation. They can help expedite the review, particularly if you make it very clear how important getting your ad account is to your business. So I'd strongly recommend that you do that. Only takes a couple minutes and can't hurt. Again, just like with chat, it's a bit hit and miss. Some people are gonna be really useful, some people aren't. It's just one of those things. What that also means is that if you are offered a call with a Meta marketing rep, let's say you haven't had one in the future, take it. It doesn't hurt. It's always useful to have those contacts and a situation where you can speed up the process of getting something taken a look at, getting a human being to look at something where an algorithm has just made a decision, often an incorrect decision, to disable an ad account or whatever it is. One other thing to note is that as a Meta marketing partner, particularly at the premium level, you do get access to sort of better reps that are more useful and can also help you with things like this, and you can lean on them a little bit more. So I imagine most people watching this wouldn't be in that situation, but if you are, if you're an agency, you've got lots of clients, etc., then really use this rep angle more aggressively, because we found that helps, and it's one of the ways that we're able to get client ad accounts back when they get incorrectly disabled really quickly. So if you get Meta to actually review your ad account and take a look at it and see whether or not it should be disabled, whether you've been able to expedite the process through the chat or you've just waited for the process. If they come back and say, we've taken a look and we have decided to keep your ad account disabled, if they say that, don't keep going down this path. You are not going to get the ad account back. You're just wasting time. It's much better at that point to create a new ad account, which might mean you need to create a new business manager, might even mean you need to create a brand new profile to sort of distance it from the previous version to make sure that it's not disabled again. And then you probably need to look at your advertising practices and see where you may have broken the rules. I already said it before, but I strongly recommend you check out Meta's advertiser policies on that to just see, am I breaking the rules without realizing it? Some of them aren't things that you would think would be in there. You think, well, okay, there's obviously, I can't advertise anything illegal, for example, but I'm not doing that, so I'm fine. No, there are lots of other things that you might think are fine as a marketer and be okay with that Meta would rather you not do. So check those out. And if you do go down the route of creating a new ad account, you don't want to fall into the same issues and make the same mistakes. The other thing I'd be really wary of are those people that sell a service which is getting your ad account re-enabled. I think a lot of those people are likely to take your money and not be able to deliver. So we have a marketing rep that will help us get ad accounts undisabled, but only if we were already managing that account before it was disabled. So for example, we couldn't take someone, let's say someone watched my videos and said, I've had an ad account disabled, can you help? Can you get your marketing rep to take a look at it? They will not deal with us on an ad account that we're not already managing. And that makes sense because that stops people like me being able to sell that as a service, and that would lead to things being quite messy. But you will see, particularly if you start commenting even on my videos and in my Facebook group and things like that, saying I've had my ad account disabled, can anyone help? People will say yes, they will take your money. Can they deliver? For the most part, most people offering this as a service are not to be trusted. There's a lot of shady stuff going on there, and I would just go through the official review process and not be tempted by any of those claims that people might make. So hopefully you can use this information to get your Facebook ad account back ASAP. When you do, you'll need to know exactly how to create high quality Facebook ad campaigns, and I show you exactly how to do that in this video here, including all the settings, all the various things that you need to get right to avoid big mistakes and get the best possible results.